Hello and welcome to round 3 of the JCW Mini UK Tour. Last time out at Alton Park, we had a fairly mixed bag of races. Successful, but it was good. We didn't really gain a whole lot. We had a very good sprint race, and then the feature race was also a good race, and we built a nice gap, and then the rain came, and I went for wets. Probably in hindsight should have gone for dries, but I'll get into more detail with that when we're in practice. So without further ado, let's get into practice and we'll go through it there. Let's have a quick look at the setup. So we're gonna start with our brand's Indy settings. We'll leave a full tank in there. I'm gonna knock the brake balance back to 57%. Let's have a little look at the springs. So yeah, we've gone low on the tyres. That's standard these days. Spring rate 1, 3 and 3. Let's leave that 3 and 3. Let's leave that 3 and 3. Drivetrain 8250. Well, if the rain's going to come, I'd like to keep that lower if I can. ABS of 3. Right, okay. That looks pretty sensible to me. Let's go and put some sensible laps in and yeah, gonna have some fun. Now I must practice the pit-in on this track. Yeah, so practice is going to be nice and dry, and the qualifying is also going to be nice and dry. We're going to see a little bit of rain. Well, in fact, the only rain we're going to see at this event is going to be at the end of the sprint race. So we got last time out at Alton Park, we got mugged at the end by Ellis, and he seems to be our main contender for the championship honours. At the time, I was questioning, there's something not right here. Now, obviously, we can't go back in time and redo it like for like with slicks on, but we put wets on. We were the only one in the top 10 to have wets. I didn't check outside the top 10. We were the only one in the top 10 to have wets on, and we were the only. They clawed us in very, very quickly. Now, at the time, I was really not happy about it because it kind of felt like I'd been robbed, having been on the right tyres. I felt like I'd made the right call. However, when you look at the replay, there is what appears to be a dry-ish line. And that makes me question whether I was on the right tyres or not at all. So I'm just going to have to suck it up, because I think it's all part of the learning curve for me. And wet weather driving, when to push on, when to push on wets, and when to just stick with what you got with slicks. Yeah, so yeah, it is what it is. We were lucky that only Ellis got us, really. It's a shame it was Ellis and not someone else. But yeah, it could have been a whole lot worse. We could have come into this round in second place rather than first in the championship. So yeah, and we've got a 3-point lead, I think it is. So yeah, we'll just take that. We'll just keep plugging away. Now this little track is an absolute gem of a circuit. Absolutely love this place. drive this all day. If someone said to me, Andy, this is the only track you can drive for the rest of your life, I would be happy. Yeah, so today should be a fairly simple affair really. The sprint race you'll start on slicks, 100% you'll start on slicks. Oops. And then you'll be just going to have to manage it for the rest of the race, wherever the rain comes. So we'll try and get a nice, decent qualifying. And then build into a good sprint race. Hopefully the sprint race ends nicely for us. And then build into a good feature race. Right, the next lap round I'm going to jump into the pits just to see what that's like. This is really just about getting in the groove again, getting that feel for it. It's very much a rhythm circuit, this one. So at the start I was umming and ahhing about the damping settings, and when you start with a green track or a greener circuit, you tend to, as soon as the grip level starts to drop, I will tend to reduce the damping levels just to allow the car a bit of roll. For the same, because obviously you haven't got as much grip, so you don't need to resist as much, so you need to allow it to move in its geometries more, which the damping allows it to do. Obviously we don't really have much control of springs, and we're already on spring 1 anyway. So yeah, I was just umming and ahhing, but I think the grip level's a bit low, and also because we're expecting rain in the first race, just leave it as, in fact 3 might even be a bit too much. Right, so where are we? Oh crikey, okay, right, so we're actually... Okay, so the speed limit line's very early on. Right, I'm going to do that again on the next time round. I'll practice that again. Really not worried about the times at all. The last time I was here we were competitive, so yeah, whatever the times are, we'll be fine. We'll be in the ballpark today. Love that corner, it's just so nice. There's no real incentive to not cut those apexes. You don't get pinged for it or anything. Alright, okay, that's fine. What are you up to, mate? You're confusing me. Let me through or not? Not sure. Right, let's see if we can do one sensible lap. It feels like the front diff's a bit too loose in the preload, but it's difficult to tell because you got probably, you know, less than ideal grip levels. You've got a car setup that's largely guessed at, but it just feels like it might be a little bit loose. However, if it's going to rain in the sprint race, you don't want a tight, you know, you don't want a tight preload for the same reason as the damping. It's, if you imagine, well, I treat the preload of the diff to be similar to the damping. That, you know, the harder that, the tighter that preload is, the bigger the force is that's got to be to overcome it. And if the less grip you've got, the less force you've got. So, to me, the lower the grip level, the lower the preload. So, yeah, for the sprint race, we'll leave it as it is. I don't want to get mugged on the last lap again. And it's perfectly drivable as it is. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it, really. It's just, I would probably prefer it to be a little bit more chuckable. Get an idea where they're going to be good and bad. So, first corner up the hill, I think we've got a bit of an edge. So there, a bit of an edge, okay. Okay, we'll get that timing right, that'll probably work for us. And here is not a space you want to overtake, so not unless you absolutely have to. Right, let's have another run in to the pits. We're going to have a quick look at the fuel load. Okay, right, let's have a little look. So, alright, so we're crikey, over a second clip, wasn't even that quick a lap, was it? So I think the record was 27.5, so we're about 1.4 off that. Let's have a little look at the return to fit box. That's it. Right, look at the setup. So we're definitely on a full tank of fuel, no doubt about that. Don't need to worry about pit strategy at this stage, although we'll probably get that set up actually. So we won't want rears, we'll just want fronts. Yeah, 19 is probably about right. 2.5, 2.5. And no damage. Right, save, continue. Back. Back. Right. Let's go and get into qualifying then. Still Brazilian. Oh, 1.7 seconds quicker. Oh, crikey. Yeah. Right, let's get to qualifying. Let's take the fuel down to 15 litres. Nicely. Slick. Let's see where we are delta wise. So when we get to let's do 25 seconds. No, let's go 15. Such a satisfying lap when you've got it and you've got it all hooked up. It's such a satisfying lap. I think the second lap will be the lap we do it on, but we'll still push on the first. It's awkward that corner, first or second gear. First gear guarantees you got the front end in. Second gear, if you get it right, just balanced on the brakes, is quicker, but harder. We'll try that in fourth next time. a nice sensible first lap. Oh, not going to get that in fourth. Not from that angle. It's a quicker first sector, but I think we can go quicker again. Well, even that first effort, I think we're probably, based on the practice times anyway, unless they were sandbagging, which I don't think the AI does, that first lap will probably be good enough anyway. How much fuel have we got left? 7.4. We'll go for another lap after this. We'll do another one. Oh no, sorry lads, got some work to do I'm afraid. Let's bring that in the pits. Sorry chaps, no one wants to see that, especially when you're 2.3 seconds up on the deal. That's a very silly thing to do. Yeah, so session wise this is going to be, it's going to go to a heavy cloud shortly, and then yeah, so race one, start off with light cloud, go to light rain, so that's going to be interesting, and then race two, the feature race should be fairly straightforward looking at that. Alright, let's I'm not sure we're actually going to improve that first lap, to be honest. Don't need to, but by the looks of it. But, it's all part of the fun, isn't it? What are you doing? Right, you let me through or not? Jesus. I used to be indecisive, but now I'm not so sure. You having a laugh, mate? Get out. Yeah, I think third might be the way. Just doesn't sound very nice because you're revving the nuts of it. clean lap, are we? In the pits we go. We're not going to get anything more out of that, are we? Too busy, too many people. Yeah, let's put it back in the box. Still, that's fine. No problem. So we've got 2 minutes to go. Let's get our setup ready for the race. So, absolutely maxed out on the fuel. We're going to want slicks. Let's get that saved for this. So we want this 1556, yeah. Ambient is 15, track is 19 and it's dry. This will be was it 128.0, wasn't it? Cadwell. Save. Okay. So yeah, so the TT settings I've got, the faster time is yeah, it's not really suitable for the race. I think the physics has changed a bit since that was done as well, and it's not. And generally, the setup has developed a fair bit since then. So yeah, whilst we've got a couple of minutes, whilst we've still got a minute, we'll just run through the setup. So we've got the tyre pressures are as low as they can be. The threshold for these seems to be a little bit on the high side, so you do tend to run them very, very low. Brake bias, yeah, it's done to taste. The suspension, very standard, very basic. It's mainly done on the damping, to be fair. A lot of it is just done to feel. Again, the drivetrain, the big one is the diff, the preload and the clutches. I've generally found that 8 clutches is the right place to be, and then the preload is again done to taste, as is the anti-lock brakes. And that's pretty much all there is to it, to be honest. There's not much more to it than that. Right, let's go back to the times and see it out. 20 seconds to go. And just a reminder, the sprint race coming up is going to start with light cloud, going into light rain, and then the feature race will be light cloud going into a nice sunny end. So it'd be nice to get a largely dry day in place. Excellent. So that's qualifying done. We'll see you in the next video for the sprint race. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching, and yeah, we'll see you later.